plus community, which was some of our concern. So, but it's changed, so hopefully that will help. We wish they were all kind of that simple to change, don't we, George?
Yeah, a lot of times you're dealing with the restraints of right of way or not enough area for queuing or additional turn lanes, but that looks like a good scenario for a quick fix. So that's excellent.
We had some residents call in as well. I guess that community got together and they really like the blinking yellow. They like the flashing yellow, but they decided like it wasn't worth it because they knew the people and they decided that it's not worth it.
Yeah, so if Lieutenant Rux isn't with us today, Tina, maybe you want, I can reach out to her, or if you want to reach out to her and just let her know the changes that were made last night.
Yeah, and that, hopefully she'll show up. We had some technical issues with her not getting the links, so we're gonna just make sure she gets the links no matter what. Yeah, I'll keep her in tune. I kept her in tune about some news on Bellamy Brothers too, as well. So trying to let her know the good news.
What was that cross on Little?
Heritage Lakes. Heritage Lakes Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we went and walked it, and after the first fatality, and when you look southbound, that medium's huge too. So we'll go ahead and kind of get started here. It is 1:30.
I do roll call whenever you're ready.
Yep, we're good. We got a good start here, and it'll take us a few minutes to get roll call. So, Tina Russo, chair of the Pasco Community Traffic Safety Team. I'm also the active transportation planner for the Pasco MPO. I'll let Lori go through roll call for the group, and we'll kind of go from there. We have some visitors, which is great as well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lori Palea with JMT. Just to let everybody know, this meeting is being recorded, and if you are not speaking, please mute your mic. Okay, going down the list, Amy Davis.
Pasco County Traffic Operations. Work closely with Tina on a lot of projects.
Brenton Mosher.
Brenton Mosher with USF Cutter.
Brian Michaels.
Pasco MPO BPAC.
George Edmiston.
Hey, good afternoon, George Edmiston, Banish. I'm the District 7 Safety Consultant.
Elizabeth Stoltz.
Hi there. Visiting from Denver, Colorado, but I'm in Tampa today and was in Pasco County on Monday all day with Tina. Visiting sites, I'm a consultant with Marlin Engineering, and we do specialized counting for micromobility, and we do motorized too. So thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for coming. Eric Katz.
Yes, good afternoon. Eric Katz, Marlin Engineering, here visiting, and thank you for the invitation.
Samantha Hamilton.
Samantha Hamilton and Steve Golubeth with the City of Newport Richey Public Works.
Casey Kersey.
Hey folks, Casey Kersey I work with EXP and I work with Tina as general planning consultant and a safety partner with her.
Matthew Beaumonte,
Hey guys, safety analyst with Gresham Smith.
Randy Stovall,
Hey everybody, Randy Stovall here, Pasco BPAC and Zephyr Hills Planning Commission.
Jim Reiser,
Good afternoon, everybody. Jim Reiser, Law Enforcement Liaison, District 7.
Scott Ferry,
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Scott Ferry with the Pasco County MPO.
Tammy Verana,
Hi, everyone. This is Tammy Verana, Verana Consulting over in Safety Harbor, Florida, and I was invited by Dr. Stovall this morning. So just checking you out. Thank you.
is there anyone else on the line that I did not call? Hey, Tina, I believe that's everyone.
So on the agenda, as you can see, one of the first things we do is our meeting dedication. And the reason why we do that is to remind us of the reason why we're here. And unfortunately, we see some of the fatalities and serious injuries, and we're going to look at one today. But I actually probably have a little bit of good news based on this meeting dedication on how all the ones that we do prevent, we don't get to see as well. So today's meeting dedication was based on a fatality that happened on August 16th. And the reason why we kind of keep some of this private is there's several laws that protect the names that are in these crash reports. But we had a 75-year-old Newport Richey man that was traveling southbound on Little Road. And vehicle 2 was a Tesla driven by a 45-year-old man, was traveling northbound on Little Road at the intersection of Heritage Lakes Boulevard. Vehicle 1 turned into the path of vehicle 2. Driver 1 and 2 suffered minor injury, while the passenger traveling in vehicle 1 was a 73-year-old Newport Richey woman that was transported to the hospital and later expired from her injuries. Since that crash on August 16th, unfortunately, we had another fatality, which is very unusual, at that exact same location, very similar type of crash this past week. And we had some very rapid response from our traffic operation folks, and Amy, if you want to add anything to kind of hopefully keep this from happening again. It's very unusual that we have the opportunity to be able to make some quick changes to hopefully prevent these crashes from happening. But there was something that we were able to look at, traffic ops was able to look at and verify. And there were some changes already done at this intersection to hopefully keep this from happening again. And that was with the help of Florida Highway Patrol also requesting the need, but the rapid response of traffic ops be able to do something, and I'm very grateful to that. Amy, if you want to add anything, you can, some background to it.
Yeah, we had some outpouring from the community as well. And fortunately, it was a county road and a county asset. And so we were able to move quickly. The neighborhood there did like having the permissive left, the flashing yellow arrow. But the people that were in the crash was a husband and wife. And the community decided that it wasn't worth it. And they wanted to go ahead and they were backing the change. And so we haven't gotten any pushback. But yeah, we verified last night and this morning that it's no longer protected permissive left, no longer have that flashing yellow arrow, just go straight to red.
Thank you so much. And again, those permissive lefts are something that we can change. It is a 55 plus older community that left turn goes into, and based on our crash study and information, we know aging drivers have a harder time with that permissive left. So we're hoping this will really make a big difference there. Although the fatality that happened just a couple of days ago was not an older person. It was a 35-year-old person that made that left turn into there. It is a cut through for another community just a little bit to the south as well. So, but so it's just some great work by our traffic ops people on doing that. And we will move on to our review of approval for July 24 meeting minutes. They're here, and if you've gotten them as well, I'll give a few minutes. I wasn't here for the July meeting. So Venkat chaired he's our vice chair, so he chaired that meeting. So need a quick minute to read over, and if we can get approval, that'd be great.
I can approve.
Amy, and then do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Dr. Stovall. So moving on to old business and our problem identification areas. Laura, you might have to help me with this since I didn't see much changes from the last meeting as well. I know we took Camry Drive off because it was studied and looked at, and I think it's off, right? It's a county one, so it would be.
It's showing, I think the last update was Venkat stated that they were working on adding some median channelization on Camry Drive, and that Tina Russo will look to see different alternatives available. Is that something you want to remove from the problem location sheet?
Yeah, so on Camry, we've pretty much everything's been done as possible. In fact, Amy can add to that. They looked at the medium and everything at Camry Drive, and there's a school near there as well. So it was looked at, and everything's been done. So we can take it off.
Okay.
And just for the folks on here, this list comes from several different locations from the public, from our law enforcement folks. And then from there, we try to come up with solution countermeasures, or at least look at what can and can't be done. And then either we put them on a list of priority projects or different funding sources, whether it be county or other cities. And then from there, if they kind of get on that list, we take them off, and then hopefully they're done. Bellamy Brothers was a prime example of one that's been on here. But that's basically how this list comes about. And then some of them stay on there for a while just because there's not much we can do. And hopefully one day we're getting ready. I'm going to talk about a little bit later about our traffic safety, or excuse me, our safety action plan that we'll be doing soon. Chansey should be close to done too, since it's almost finished construction and it's a DOT project. I think there was one thing I was supposed to look like. So
Daughtry.
Yeah, Chansey and 301, I think it's. Am I jumping all over the place on you? I am.
Yeah, it's okay.
And I think I have one question that came up about the Chansey 301 intersection. And is that project manager on the call on the meeting today? Sometimes they show up. And if not, I'll pass this on to DOT. I had someone ask, and Amy, you might know about, and I think it's the westbound movement at Chansey, that the right turn lane maybe should be a right turn and straight through. I'll verify what the question was and then pass it on to DOT and then also to the county, since Chansey is a county road and 301 is a DOT road. But I did have someone ask about the through lane on Chansey. Let me write that note. It just made some improvements. It should be almost done. Dr. Stovall, that's your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I think pretty much it is finished. I was through there just a couple of days ago. It looks really good. If only we had throughput at 56, right?
Yeah, and I think it was Tanita that was asking about that westbound movement off of Chansey because there's a lot of truck traffic, about making something a dual destination or dual lane. I'll have to confirm that she said it should help quite a bit, and I'll just confirm what the request was and see if it's doable and if it will help. Because I know there's a lot of truck traffic coming down Chansey.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm having computer issues.
So go back to so that one's coming off. Because we've done everything we've known for Camry, very limited with the way that crosswalk is and the boardwalk and everything else. So, and traffic ops did quite the research on that one. So that one's going to come off. The next one is is it Colony and we like the next one, Laurie? Or Daughtery? I think she froze. Did everybody else freeze or is it just me?
No, I think it's.
Yeah, I think she does.
What's the location, Tina? Daughtery and
Yeah, and this is a Zephyr Hills one, Daughtery Road in US 301. Remember we talked about it at the last meeting in Zephyr Hills? It's between those two shopping centers. And we actually talked about this when we were in Zephyr Hills at our last live meeting.
you able to see?
Yeah. It's got that weird hill. See how it's kind of a weird angle? It's offset to a little bit, Amy?
Yeah. That weird hill up there.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, weird hill. But when you're looking west, you can notice it too from across the way. If we can, we'll just take a quick look at it, and if you can just tell me to
Well, what's
So
what's
the
the
other part
concern?
about the intersection that's really bad is that from the southwest side, it's a frontage road that dumps through a parking lot onto Daughtery. And see the white building down here in the lower left?
That one
So-
down there, right
so-
there?
Yeah, so what happens is there's a Golden Corral just south of there that gets a lot of business. And people, after they eat, they have to go through the parking lot of that white building. And then they come up onto Daughtery to turn right. So it's just very awkward there before you
Okay.
get over to the intersection itself.
So that access probably shouldn't be there in the first place. Is that probably what we're?
Yeah, but if you take it out, then people have no way to go. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Okay.
Is this the access that's weird?
yes,
Oh,
yes.
look how blind that is. Wow.
yes. You come see the yellow building. You actually come around the front of that yellow building, and then you have to turn right on the Daughtery. It's just very strange.
So it's a left and then right, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Tree line.
So like you're coming from the Golden Corral, which is down here, you're coming up the back and then
Right. And you go
through
through
the
that
front.
and then you turn right there where your arrow is. You turn a little bit to the left to get to that out, and then you go out on the Daughtery that way. It's very strange. And I'll tell you, just so you'll know, all that brown construction stuff that in the bottom there, that's now a you store it, but it's off the road
Oh.
and no traffic, thank God, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I am back. Oh, I was having technical difficulties with my
Yeah.
computer. I am back. I
We're-
think we're rolling.
Yeah, Amy's showing Daugherty and 301, and Dr. Stovall is giving us a little inside scoop at how the traffic flows from a Golden Corral that's just to the south of there and cuts through that parking lot basically.
Okay.
And then that intersection's very offset that you can tell too, just by the crosswalks.
Do you see the frontage road they're talking about? You see how it has
Oh,
the
yeah.
southbound? And so
Interesting.
what he's saying is to get out of the Golden Corral, you gotta bebop up here, take this frontage road.
The wrong way?
And then here, well, like I think it might be two-way here.
Okay.
And go through here, but then you do hit the one way and you have to go left into that
Oh.
parking lot. I think that's
Yeah, I
the
don't think
weird
too
thing.
many people come to Golden Corral from the north. They usually come down 301 and then turn in directly into the parking lot, but that's how they exit when they're leaving towards the north. That's the only way to get out because you can't turn across 301 very easily.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I see.
And then
So
of
just-
course that one way's there so they don't access the intersection too close, right, Amy? It turns to one way because there's access
Yeah.
right there.
Right.
There's one. Yeah. So they take that left. They go through this.
Oh my
parking
God.
lot. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's
Wow.
what they do.
So you go like
That
this,
that access road's kind of,
and you go like this, and then you come out here.
Right.
That's a weird little road there.
why is that? I guess it used to be, obviously it was the previous access for that shopping center just to come in, and then everything else was added after the fact.
Probably.
Then well,
Yeah,
I'll look
'cause
at
you
we'll
can't
look
go
at the
left here.
crashes, Amy, too. We'll look at the crashes and kind of see. Why don't
And
they
then-
go out there? Oh, because they want to go north and not south, huh?
Yes, that's right.
Oh.
That's
Hmm.
right. There's also a car wash right in there, and some. I guess I don't know how much traffic the car wash gets, but it may contribute to that a little bit. But it's mostly the Golden Corral, I think.
Well, that is interesting.
I bet you there's no lighting off of Daugherty Road where all that happens either, right?
Right.
there's people coming out at 7 o'clock at night when it's dark. Hmm.
Yeah,
It's
so to go northbound, you'd either have to cross 301, which he said lots of people don't like doing because it's
They're gonna
dangerous
do-
and it's unsignalized, or you got to go through that parking lot to get to a signal.
right. You know, and also there are people who actually need to go west on Daughtery. So again, that's the way they get there.
Mhm. And I don't know if we can open up this to two-way because it's so close to the intersection.
Yeah, yeah.
That's no way. Because then people will be coming through the light and you'll have
Yep.
people. Yeah, that's not going to work for sure.
And with that car wash going in there, there's no way of having access to a little bit more to the west either, is there?
The property that the used store purchased actually has a strip
Your store. Okay.
that goes out to the Daughtery. It's just trees now. You see the orange thing with the red dot on it. Those are
Yeah.
some buildings, and just to the right of that, those some trees. There's actually a strip there that belongs to the store people that they decided not to make an outlet there. So so there is land, but then the dark parking lot right next to that strip is a drive-through for the Walgreens drugstore.
So, and then that new storage place, their access is going to be off of that access road in 301, right? Right there?
That's
Okay.
exactly
Oh, Lord.
But that actually probably improves traffic because there were a couple more businesses in there that, that went defunct. And so now we have probably much less traffic in that area than we did have at one time, except for the people going north and south, And I spoke wrong. That's not Walgreens there. That's a strip, several different things in there, and that white thing.
Okay. Well, we'll take a quick look at that. I'll look at the crashes that happened there too and see where it seems to be the bigger issue as well. All right, next on here. What's next, Lori?
There's Wire Road.
Sorry, Dr. Stovall.
Yeah.
So it is a CIP project for the sidewalk with the county. So once the county gets moving forward with what needs to be done on Wired Road, we'll start looking at mid-block. I think with our safety action plan too, Dr. Stovall will be able to do some different things with locations like this once we get some a deeper data drive into everything. But Wire Road is on the CIP, the county penny for Pasco for sidewalk. I don't remember the exact year, but I know Dr. Stovall and I actually would like to see a mid-block since all the money the county's already put on County Road 54.
Right.
Where the school is and the parks and everything. So maybe once we get a little closer to that, we can look at a mid-block that's a little bit more suitable for what's on the south side of County Road 54.
And I'll give you just a little brief update. The park that's just south of 54 next to the high school, Hercules Park, that's scheduled for reopening in December. And so we expect that would drive additional traffic if we had that mid-block there at Dairy. So hopefully we'll get that. And then the other thing that's going to relate to that is it looks like there's likely to be another apartment complex on the corner of Wire and Pretty Pond that is going through the approval process today. There's also another apartment complex on the opposite corner of Pretty Pond and Wire. And then, so I don't know how many houses, I mean, how many people that will be, but that'll put more pressure there. And that's just another reason we need that mid block.
Okay. Understood.
Where is that mid-block location? Dairy and 54?
So there is no mid block. Dr. Stovall and I have had discussions about a future mid block somewhere between Wire and Dairy that would provide a better crossing for the high school, the park, and everything else. Just
Okay.
nothing planned. We've been
So
trying to do Wire Road for a while now, and that looks like it's in the CIP. So maybe when that gets done, the improvements have been done on County Road 54, which are fabulous. Dairy
Yes.
Road already has some facilities on it that are great. So we're talking about maybe trying to provide a mid-block between those two streets. See where the high school is? Amy, you know that maybe a mid-block would be a better option for the school and the park that Dr. Stovall is talking about that's going to be reopened.
That's
And
to
then
the
they all
south though, right?
correct,
Not the
correct.
screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we just put school flashers in there, like right before school.
Okay.
So we put the flasher locations in anticipation that there would be a mid-block
Oh,
at
thank you.
Dairy.
Very
So-
nice. Very nice.
Wow.
So yeah. So yeah,
And-
we actually moved it back a little bit and expecting something to be happening at Dairy Road.
Well, thank
Yay.
you.
So yeah, we did it, Dr. Stovall. Start. So can Lori make sure we add that to this? And we all know, if you don't know, there's a Wawa up on the corner of 54 and 301 that is used by everybody.
Right. Right. Very
So
busy.
the kids, even though they might live north of 54 and go to high school, they go back and forth to a lot of different things on the south side. Correct, Dr. Stovall? Even though they may leave on the north side of 54. And again, that's why the facilities were put on County Road 54.
And not only is there a high school there, there's an elementary school between the high school and that park. And once the park reopens, they'll have direct access to Wawa from
Right.
that school. So before they closed the park for the renovation, there was a lot of kid activity in there. Probably will come back when the park opens.
Well, if you're talking about all those apartments being added as well as all the new houses being put in just north of Pretty Pond, that's even more folks navigating south to the school and the park and Wawa.
Yeah, and I told you about the two apartment corners, the opposite
Right.
corner. So the third corner is townhouses coming. And so I don't know how many units, but we're probably looking at, 200 plus units each for the other two corners for the apartments. So a lot of potential activity there.
Do you mind if I share my screen?
Please.
Okay, so I believe it's this one. So we made the school zone right here. This is the Wawa where you come out on Stadium.
Yep.
So the school zone starts right here.
Okay.
Flasher. We anticipated something going in here as a mid block, and then it goes all the way to here to include the signal.
Great.
And then I believe the apartments you're talking about are right here. And here's the elementary school. Here's the high school.
Oh, no, the ones you're talking
There's
about.
more north.
Those are townhouses that just opened. Now, the apartments I'm talking about are a little further north.
We went to evaluate this school zone because last time we had the meeting with Zephyr Hills, and this actually aren't our roads. So the city of Zephyr Hills will have to reevaluate.
Are you talking about Henry Road? Yeah, Henry is that road that used to dead end at the park. And I'm not sure if that's going to get open all the way or not, but.
Well,
But
yeah,
you can go into the park. And then the white thing on the right of this picture is the high school, and then the go to the middle of the screen, that's the elementary school. Right.
And then
Yeah,
the
that's
park.
elementary. Yeah, and then the park is that green stuff.
So
We were asked to reevaluate the school zone
Right.
right here in Henry Drive, and unfortunately, that's not us, so we couldn't. They weren't our signs, our jurisdiction.
Gotcha.
So that's where I learned a fun fact from Amy, the reason why the school zone exists where it does on what street is to the east? 15th, is it? By the high school?
12th?
12th.
12th Street, yeah.
Yeah,
12th
where the school zone is a little bit further, right on the edge, right, Amy? It's right on the edge.
Yeah, it starts right here, and then it goes to here, I believe.
Right.
Yeah,
And
down
it's-
to the church, yeah.
Which I thought was interesting because it's actually before the school actually ends, but it's
Spanish though, but oh, how about this guy?
But that's only just, if you're on 12th Street there, you're only another couple of blocks south, and then there's a middle school.
Wow.
So you have school zone speed for a lot of that road, and usually ZPD sets a car over there during busy times, just because it's a heavy traffic area as well. So
Amy, did you email our contact with Zephyr Hills PD about that, about Henry and how it's their jurisdiction? Because it was him that brought it up, right?
I did, and we also
Okay.
had that interesting conversation about the no through trucks on Gall, and that brought up an interesting point too. But I don't know if we want to go over it here or later. But
Well, good. I mean, at least the conversation happened.
right.
All right, moving on. Thank you for that. That's really all good forward moving with all of this for once. So Colony 50 Road and Moon Road, right? Colony 52, is that the next one? Lori, my sheets are probably out of order.
Right, State Road 52 from east of Colony Road to Moon Lake.
Yeah. And again, Eric Henry and DOT was looking at access points and several different other things with the resurfacing of this part of State Road 52. So I know several folks are looking at it as well. Next, I think we get into county. Is Seven Springs the next one? Seven Springs. Lots of work happening on Seven Springs. Pretty much we might even want to take this one off because school board traffic safety's been doing it. Several folks have been doing it. And again, this is one of those areas that Mike's talked about that is more about needing a road diet and anything else. And that's probably gonna be more approached with our safety action plan. But I think everything's been done here that can be done with traffic ops and school board. This is a bigger, deeper dive next.
Sounds good. Got everything?
I think so.
Two Camry, Dog Tree,
Yep.
and US 31. Yeah, I think we covered
That's it.
everything.
We might actually put Little and Heritage Lakes on there next month and then show that it's been done. So we have record of it too.
Perfect.
So that's coming up to new business. So education, I saw Renessa join us. Renessa, can you introduce yourself? And then if you want to jump in on the education part, that might be good too.
Sure, yeah. My name is Renessa Martinez. I'm the injury prevention coordinator with All Children's Hospital and Save Kids. As far as education on our end, I do have an update with Battle of the Belts. Battle of the Belts is a teen safe driving program we've had for the past 14, 15 years in Pasco County. And this upcoming September 3rd, we will be honoring Hudson High, who had the most improved seatbelt usage with a $500 check. I'll be presenting it along with Izzy. I don't know if she's on here, but she is a nurse at HCA Bayonet Point. She's the injury prevention coordinator for them. So we will be presenting them with $500 for quite a big improvement. I don't have the numbers exactly, but I know it was quite substantial. They had a very great, successful campaign at the high school. As well as September 21st, there will be a child passenger safety event. Lisa Brecky is going to be facilitating everything. However, I will be participating, and I do believe she sent out a flyer to me that I will send to everybody else. This is a wonderful event. If you know any families or caregivers who are in need of car seats, they will be for free at this event, along with installation. So a wonderful way to get some resources. The local Rotary Club is donating about 20 car seats for that a date, which is September 21st. So I do know it's going to start at 10. It is at Fire Station 13, which is somewhere in Wesley Chapel, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I think so. But once I get that flyer, I'll send that to Tina, and then Tina can distribute that to everybody else. And please pass that along. We would love to have some great success with that and have some caregivers and parents attend. And they can also attend if they have a car seat of their own and just want to see if it's installed correctly. It's not limited to that. So I know Mike Zinn will be there doing some information, as well as a few of his team members, I think Isabel and Ashley. So that'll be wonderful to have the community there for that event. I also kind of wanted to touch on something that recently we had a Kids in Motion conference, which is one of the largest conferences on child passenger safety. We just attended. So both Sheila and I, who was also on this phone call, attended with our manager, Petra. One of the things that I took away from it that I'm hoping to get some ground on is kind of our tribal and native communities here. Not really a community we've touched on often. I do know that child passenger safety, among other injury prevention efforts, are pretty important, regardless of culture. And this is a kind of a cultural, area we haven't really touched base with. No one really in Florida is doing anything with tribal and native communities. So I did get a resource or a contact through Michael Zinn and George, which was wonderful. So I'm going to be reaching out to see, how we can facilitate, maybe that's offering events or, getting them on the coalition meetings, just attending and having a voice. So I think that would be wonderful. And hopefully that's something I'll be able to integrate. So I will keep you all updated on that.
Hey, Renissa, Casey and I can have a conversation with you about that too, because we've been looking at some different things as well with our safety action plan, trying to figure out how to reach those undeserved folks as well.
Yeah, I would love to do that. So yes, let me know when you ladies, when we can touch base. I would love to pick your brains and, see what we've all kind of gathered and how we can approach it. Sounds wonderful.
Absolutely. And Tina, I wanted to mention too, you had me go do the car fit from the older side. So I'm now a car fit technician and can support that with Tina in District 7 as well.
And I'm going to sabotage education just for a minute as well. And since I see now that Sheila's on here, I just want to thank the group, Renissa and Sheila, for providing some helmets for Dade City that on a last minute need, which was just incredible. If you haven't heard, there's a little bit of a shortage on helmets right now. The Resource Center has used up everything, good news, bad news. And so, all these brand new back to school events, we're scrambling to get helmets across the state. But Sheila and Renissa, John Hopkins and Safe Kids were really helpful on coming through for us for an event that we didn't know we didn't have helmets until the last minute. So thank you guys so much. And that was a great event. We're trying to hit some of our undeserved areas like Dade City and some other folks too, as well. And that was just greatly appreciated, also. So any other education? I see Brenton on here. Anybody else want to jump in on the education part?
Hey, Tina, this is Sheila.
Yes.
Glad you guys are able to use the helmets. That's wonderful news. The education thing that I have, we have Walk to School Day coming up, October 9th. And I'm in the process of getting email list for principals and assistant principals. And I'm going to send a flyer out to them and encourage them to participate. So if you have a school that you know someone at, feel free to send a flyer out and get them started.
We will. In fact, send that to me, and I'm going to send that to my folks at school safety and kind of go from there.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a great group to start with. Thank you.
Hey, Brian, do you want me to do your little spiel under education?
Yeah, go ahead. You got the slides. I think you were going to show.
I do. I'm going to go ahead and share real quick. So, Brian, do your spiel real quick, and I'll pull them up on what you're doing.
Okay, so October is Pedestrian Safety Month, and October 1st, we're going to launch Project Red Light, which includes education and enforcement of the new R1015-A signs, which are stop for pedestrians. We were fortunate to get Pasco County Utilities to include in their newsletter that's going to go out to every billable customer in Pasco County. They're going to have a article about stopping for pedestrians. We also have the support of our tax collector's office, which includes all 5 of their offices that apparently they have monitors in all 5 of their offices, and they're going to do like a slideshow presentation that runs throughout the day of these various signs that I created for Pedestrian Safety Month. We're also sharing this information with Pasco, Hillsborough, the city of Tampa, and the city of St. Petersburg.
Can everybody see those slides now?
Yes, we can see them.
And we're still waiting for FDOT to provide, they were working on updating a PSA that they made in 2019 with the correct signage. We're still waiting to see if they're going to be able to do that. And we're also seeing what digital materials they will supply. If not, though, Pasco is ready to go. I mean, we're in really great shape. So that's the good news.
So Brian's worked hard. He's worked in Pasco. He's worked in Pinellas. He's worked in Hillsborough to take advantage of October Pedestrian Month. So greatly appreciate all the hard work he's done. It's been like a 2 to 3 process getting this done. So.
Yep, I go to Hillsborough County BPAC tonight to do the presentation. And they can participate as much or as little as they want. The information is going to be out there. There's not you would think the law enforcement would have been the hard part. That was actually the easiest part. You just had to ask.
So any more education before we move on to enforcement?
Oh,
yay.
yes.
Hey, Brenton, yay.
So you, of course, know all about this. The new mid-block pedestrian signal at US 19 and Buena Vista Lane or Bartelt Road. I am putting the link in the Survey Monkey that we are promoting right now. we're doing some social media promotion of this and some geofencing to try to get people to learn how these work. And then we're also out doing on the street education for this signal. And we are adding, we're going to do some tip card delivery to local businesses. And then we have a mailer planned for September. So we're trying to have a real robust 360-degree way of trying to reach as many people as possible with the information about these crosswalks and how they're just slightly different from a regular traffic signal. So,
Britton, can you just send some of that information when you guys are out and about near there, please? If you
Yeah, and
can.
Brenton, if it's okay, loop me in, because I was out last Saturday night just watching for Tina, just kind of observing and the use of it as well. So loop me in, and then I'll coordinate with Tina if I can help.
okay.
Thank you. Very excited. This is our first mid-block in Pasco County, and it's one of many more. So appreciate it. And Johnny and I went out there right after it opened, and the folks are grateful. Not everybody uses it, just like any or all of them, but the few that use them are very grateful for it, and it's great to see. So it's a great location for one too.
All right.
Anything else on education, Brenton? That's great, though.
Not for me.
Okay. Anybody else education wise? All right, moving on to enforcement. I'm gonna start calling names.
Hey.
This is Jim Reiser, law enforcement liaison. I can talk about it for a minute.
Thank you, sir.
Right now, we're doing drive sober, get pulled over. That runs through Labor Day weekend. I know that Pasco is getting ready to do a saturation patrol on Saturday night. Newport Richey Police Department are going to have a briefing there. It's going to be Newport Richey, Port Richey, and FHP, and possibly Pasco County Sheriff. And on a side note, Pasco County Sheriff did reach out to me. They were looking for some training materials to get their deputies trained on basic field sobriety exercises.
Yay.
I'll caution that let's see what happens with this going forward, but they did acknowledge that they needed to get their deputies trained, especially in relation to the DUIs. So I think their goal was to train 80 of their field training officers, and hopefully that information will flow down to the whole agency as a whole going forward. So there are some progress being made there. It's going to be slow. Still working on that, and the pedestrian and bicycle enforcement grants should be coming online with Port Richey and Newport Richey shortly. Zephyr Hills, I think, was in the process of getting theirs approved, but I don't know what stage they're at now. I think they're just waiting for their staff at the police department to sign off on the plan. Other than that, Southern Slowdown back in July was a success. And I'll let George Edmondson touch on this, but they had a big multi-jurisdictional operation on US 19 and really put up some good numbers for that. And George, if you want to comment on that and how that affected the whole Tampa Bay area.
I sure will. Can everybody hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, last Wednesday, the 21st, we had one of the biggest ELE operations so far, 3 years in this program, and it's been growing and growing. So what we did was we put a US 19 detail together to encompass 4 counties. So we went from the Skyway Bridge all the way up to the Levy County line. So Pinellas law enforcement agencies, Pasco County agencies, Hernando and Citrus. So there were 13 agencies involved, close to 100 officers involved for 8 hours on US 19 to address a lot of the crashes that have been causing serious bodily injury and death out there, and a lot of the violations that attribute to those. So as a result of that, we had 811 traffic stops, 520 citations that were written, 353 warnings that were written, 3 DUI arrests, 10 drug arrests, 59 move over violations, 242 speeding violations, and 12 driver's license for driving on a suspended or no valid DL. So certainly that's a lot of traffic stops. A lot of people were making comments publicly on social media. We followed a lot of the different traffic websites, and certainly there was a lot of support for this, that it was in desperate need. And we'll continue to do that. I've actually got an operation I'm starting to plan through Pasco County in the next month or so, which will encompass US 301. We're going to go from the Manatee line, Sumter County line. And we certainly got agencies from Newport Richey, Zephyr Hills, Dade City, Florida Highway Patrol that all participated in our program. And on top of all the support we get from the Highway Patrol, this will be another successful event. So we look forward to doing more of these. We are addressing a lot of these corridors. We're seeing a lot of those fatal crashes as well.
That was a great job done by everybody last week.
Certainly teamwork.
Yep. And the assistance that was provided to Pasco Sheriff's Office as well. Anything else from enforcement? Engineering will provide some updates probably in the near future once we have some of our work program and our county Penny for Pasco projects that will be approved probably in the next month or so, some of the things that will come from that as well. Just a real quick update that's kind of involving all 3 E's is we will go to our committees the end of September and our MPO board the beginning of October 3rd to sign our agreement with Federal Highway and US DOT for our safety action plan. I've been interviewing consultants today and tomorrow about who will do that safety action plan. So very excited. By the end of this year, we will start moving forward with our safety action plan. And it will be a good 1.5 year process along the way. So crash stats, Laurie, you're up.
Yep. The map. There we go. Okay. So from January 1st to June 12th of 2024, there have been 46 fatal crashes. At the last CTST from January 1st to May 5th, there were 31 fatal crashes. So there's been 15 new fatal crashes added to the fatal crash map. That includes 1 rollover, 1 bicycle, 1 rear end, 2 side swipe, 3 right angle, 4 pedestrian, and 3 left turn. As you could see on the mode of travel, motorcycle represents the highest percentage of fatal crashes, followed by vehicle, pedestrian, and then bicycle. So 7 of these 15 new fatal crashes were motorcycle related. 8 of the 15 were at an intersection. 10 were in dark conditions and 1 was drug related. In terms of the 4 new fatal crashes for this month, 1 was on State Road 54 and Allen Road. The second was on Little Road in Villa Entrada. The 3rd pedestrian fatal crash was on State Road 52 and Colony Road. And the 4th pedestrian fatal crash was on Wells Road and Boyette Road. So there have been 46 fatal crashes through June 12th, and in the same period in 2023, there were 45 fatal crashes. So we are up by 1 fatal crash same period. So that is what I got. So lots of motorcycle crashes.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Calendar updates and activity reports. Where's Alex at? Where you need him, huh?
Eric, you mean?
Eric, excuse me. Why I still do that? Everybody still does that, right? Everybody still does. Eric, excuse me.
I think he's at an event today.
Okay.
Some things I saw from an email from you about discussion on the Gulf Coast Safe
Thank you.
Summit.
So on October 9th, which is actually the same day of the walk to school, I believe. Let me go back. And I'll send this out to everybody. In Hillsborough, it is being planned at Hillsborough. Let me make sure of the date. It is actually going to be, yes, it is October 9th. It is from 1 to 5 p.m. It is in, and I should be able to pull this up. It is in
Have it
downtown
on the
Tampa.
screen.
Yeah. There you go. So each county is going to have a couple people on a panel to have a discussion, some upper level folks. So just want to invite everybody to this. It's a very short version. The Pedestrian Bicycle Coalition is actually meeting the day before this in the morning. And in fact, we're looking at maybe doing an event in Hillsborough with the walk to school day. But if you can attend, this is a great group of folks to kind of talk with and learn different things with. And then I believe there's a reception and kind of a happy hour later on that day. They're finalizing the agenda kind of as we speak, but save the date and just wanted to let everybody know about this event coming up on October 9th.
And as mentioned, October is also pedestrian month.
Mhm.
So you want to see like who is doing what where. I know Michael Brian, he discussed the signage that they're doing. Is there any other things going on for pedestrian month? Is anyone doing anything?
So nothing on there. So we already did the fatality tracking basically. HISP updates, please.
Yes, I have an update. So we received a request from Newport Richey, actually Samantha Hamilton. She is on the call and she gave a great presentation explaining her RFB improvement she would like. And it is currently under review. If anyone needs assistance using the form to request items, please let myself or Melissa Shepard from JMT know. We can walk you through how to do it. And just to let everyone know, the funding is limited, so it's a first come, first served basis. So please apply. And thank you, Samantha, for that as well.
No problem. Thank you.
So moving on to open forum and announcements. This might be a good time for the mega meeting plug, Lori.
So the mega meeting is September 12th at 9 a.m. Registration is now open, so please check your email. And we would like as much attendance as possible. There will be no Pasco CTST meeting that month in September. It'll only be the mega meeting. It's at the AAA facility on Henderson Road. And in October, we are having an in-person meeting. We do not have a location for that meeting yet. So if anybody has any ideas, let myself or Tina know. Maybe if Tina could reserve a room, that would be great. And then the last thing to mention is the November meeting is actually scheduled the day before Thanksgiving. So I don't know if you guys want to change the date in November or maybe do the December meeting and do like a combined November-December meeting for the holidays. Like maybe just hold one meeting instead of two, or just change to the November date.
I think that's what we did last year. We combined November and December, and we'll look at that again. Okay.
And then for the October meeting, Tina, do you think you'll be able to reserve?
I'll look at Starkey, but I want to look at something a little different. We did Zephyr Hills, which I really liked. So maybe I'll look towards the center of the county and just see if there's something that stands out to us too, as well.
Perfect.
Not, I could always probably get Starkey Ranch, which is not a bad location, but like to try to find a little bit different location for us to be at as well. So we'll let you know. And if anybody thinks of somewhere, let me know too.
And Tina will also be giving a presentation at the Mega CTST. She's going to talk about the CTST accomplishments, and she'll be getting a great presentation together for that, as well as I think you're on a panel too, correct, Tina?
Yeah, I'm doing the safe system approach with Hillsborough and Pinellas, and then I'll be doing a quick update on our Pasco activities, which we've had a bunch, so I'm gonna have to make it quick. So, but a lot of good things have happened this last year with all of you guys being a part of them. If there's not anything else, we will adjourn, and it was great for everybody to join us, and thank you for all the work you do.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Happy Wednesday.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Tina.
Thanks, Tina.